Now we're on Chapter 1, Assignment 7, Weekly Payroll. And it's on page 23 of the textbook. The first part of the assignment says to create a new spreadsheet workbook and enter the data shown, but in fact this is done for you in the file Assignment 7 Weekly Payroll. So if we proceed to page 24 for the questions. The first question says format the PAYE rate to percentage 0 decimal places. So at the moment the PAYE rate is given as a decimal. To make it to be formatted as a percentage, we click the percentage button, and that is by default 0 decimal places. And the rest of question 1 talks about formatting the PRSI rate to percentage 1 decimal place. So at the moment it's saying 0.035. As a percentage, that should be 3.5%. When we format it to look like percentage, it's actually saying 4%. But if we look in the formula bar, it's saying 3.5%. So in fact, it's just displaying it differently to the actual figure. And that's just because we need to ask for 1 more decimal place. So 3.5%. Question 2, calculate PAYE. So we'll do that for John O'Neill. And we're going to start with saying equal B4 multiply by the PAYE rate, which is in B1, but which we need to be an absolute cell reference. So $B $1, and we press enter to have that accepted. To work out the PRSI, it's the same idea. It's equal to B4 multiplied by the contents of D1, but we want that to be an absolute cell reference, so we have to say $D $1. Press enter to have that accepted. Question 4 says calculate the total by adding PAYE and PRSI. So that's a straightforward equal C4 plus D4. And really that's total deductions. And question 5 says net pay is gross pay minus total. So in net pay it's equal to the gross pay, which is in B4, minus the total deductions, in fact, E4. And we press enter to get that accepted. The next question says copy all formulas using fill down. So we can highlight those 4 formulas, and on the corner of the selection you see the fill handle. When we put the mouse pointer on it, it becomes black crosshairs, and when we pull down, that will fill down or copy down all the formulas. They don't look like money because some of them have 3 decimal places and 4 and 5 decimal places, but that's just a question of formatting, which is our next task. Question 7, format all money amounts to currency using the accounting button. So we'll format all our money amounts and we'll use our accounting button. Then question 8 says format all headings to bold. So being guided by the example in the textbook, PAYE rate is to be bold, the 20% is to be bold, the PRSI rate is to be bold, the actual rate is to be bold, and the headings for the columns are all in bold. Question 9 says adjust column widths where necessary. So sometimes you might find if you've adjusted the font, for example, made it bold, that the column widths may not be wide enough. Actually, in this case, there is no problem, but we can still adjust the column widths. And a good thing to do often is to highlight the columns you wish to adjust and go Format, Autofit Column Width, and it tidies everything up. Question 10 says center the data in cells B3 to F10. So B3, John O'Neill's gross pay, to F10, Tom Larkin's net pay. And we are to center that data. So on the home ribbon, the center button. Question 11 says, change John O'Neill's gross pay to €700. So again, we would never type in a euro symbol. We just type in a number. So 700, and press enter. And it should have resulted in his PAYE now being 140, his PRSI 2450, his total 164.50, and his net pay 535.50. And then if we wish to print, we can do so, and if we wish to save, we can do so.